Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Still Cinco de Mayo. Sun is dipping down here where I am. Hope everybody's doing well. The white erasure agenda. I just read that in a comment channel. I'm not gonna divulge who that is, but I've been seeing a lot of this, and at first I was curious, right? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, there seems to be a group of people in this country. I'm going to use this shit to create riddles, alright? So I'm not just going to be saying these crayon colors. You just got to kind of, you know what I'm saying? One group feels like they're always under attack, right? I got to work 3 times as hard. The man's out to get me. I gotta dress this way. I have to speak with proper diction and syntax and rhetoric and tone and, all of that. And then another group seems to be saying, I'm under attack and they're invading our schools, our women, our movies. It's this big erasure thing, right? So basically, one group of people is being urged to, like, play a professional victim. Perpetual victim, same thing. And then another group is trained to, mainly the men though, and that's what I'm going to kind of direct this arrow at, you know what I'm saying? But remember, it's an arrow of curiosity. It's an arrow of what the hell are you talking about? Because it's like interracial dating, right? There's always been interracial dating, and I'm not some dude up here with, mixed family behind me saying like this is no. I'm just saying like there's always been interracial dating. Clearly, in another decade in America, it was the equivalent of something obscene. In other words, they had to keep that shit on the low, keep it in the cars or the barn or whatever, right? At one point in history, I'm not going to go down that, but, other types of groups of people in orientation, it was seen as supremely taboo, so they had to do it behind closed doors, right? Nowadays, most of that stuff has been, all that stuff has been relinquished in the aspect of being frowned upon, right? So why is it that anytime this shit sounds funny saying it because I'm the polar opposite of this type of person I'm talking about. Why is it that when a white woman decides to tell her story, see how funny that shit sounded? A white woman decides to tell her story about her experience and her life and her perception, etc., and you get some weak, opinionated, chatty white dude that comes on. I'm just painting a picture here. And he talks about our women are of low character. This is what our women are, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if that's how you feel, I have to respect that. I just find it so funny because you can just sense it, right? It's the thing about humans. We're not all just, you can look at somebody and tell that they are from New York. You can look at somebody and tell they play basketball. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, you can sense when somebody is bitter for more than one reason, right? So if I've never been a great dancer and I start talking crap about somebody who dances well, at first it's going to be like, damn, why are you hating? If I continue to go in that pattern, clearly there's something inadequate about me, or at least I'm creating an insecurity and I'm making it known by projecting it, by keep saying, man, who the hell would dance like that? Man, why they gotta move like that? Man, that's too much rhythm. Nobody speaks this way. That's my point. So why is it that people who have learned things that they didn't agree with, they grow up, they act upon, countering those beliefs, all of a sudden there's, it's like we're back in 1965. And most of the dudes criticizing them, they probably don't even get chicks like that. They definitely don't have friend groups because that's not normal male behavior. You can take white out of it, you know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, the interracial dynamic, as far as dollars, as far as the nuance that everybody thinks about, right? It's usually somebody like me and like some white women or something, right? But we know the demographics and all that. Within recent times, you'll find a lot of. I'm not talking about your opinion or your preference. I'm just talking about just general bar graph type shit. You're seeing white dudes and black females as well. You know? And as much as you may ball your fist up and say that ain't right, nobody really cares. Like, ultimately, you can't stop that union from happening. So, the crux of this is just a curiosity. Like, why do you feel that it's... I have a feeling I know, but why do you use such extremist language like white erasure? As if people are even thinking like that. Like, what kind of moron sits around and makes videos about, oh, well, you know, this white erasure? What the fuck are you talking about, man? What I think is happening is that certain systems that were, like, established at a particular time, they're not as sturdy as certain people may have thought they've been. And so the things that are coming out of their mouth and their mind, for that matter, they don't really think about it. They're just reacting on a bunch of repressed, subconscious incongruencies, right? Can't even see that maybe two people fall in love. Maybe, you know, they both learned certain, pathologies from their family and they redirected it and now they love each other. What's wrong with that? That's always happened in America. You just think it's all about this, oh, now the women are promiscuous. Oh, now there's always been promiscuous women. What the fuck are you talking about? People who didn't live, you know, in those past times are under the impression that, oh, well, now they have this. Well, now they can do that. Fool, they've always been doing that. There's always been hoes. There's always been loose women. There's always been women to hold you down. There's always been women that will line your ass up. All these archetypes of females have always existed. It's just with social media and the acceleration of that exposure, now you think, oh, it's all women. Oh, that's how I know you haven't had any real substantial relationships. For all you guys who just love sitting around sober and hardworking and so fucking willing to help, but you can't even help yourself get out of this mental rut that you created, that you think where every woman is just out here to make you upset. That shit is never going to attract anything good or abundant into your life. And I'm saying that to help you. I'm not saying this because I'm some damn just ultra perfect person, man. Seriously. But unfortunately, a lot of the people I'm seeing do this, they tend to be you're kind of like maybe average income white dude, you know? Dudes out here of all skin tones, of walks of life, who are crushing it, who are focused on their goals, who are closing deals, who are hitting gym maxes, who are, you know, running new record times in their miles, who are writing songs, who are creating spreadsheets, who are, you know, teaching even. Any aspect of leader, they do not talk like that. They don't think like that. And if they do, they don't act on this whole, oh, the women are against us, and, you know, it's just, this is what, that phrase, white erasure, it just baffles me, man. It's so funny. It's like, I'm going to create a system to terrorize and oppress the whole fucking world and everybody in it. And then when it starts going against me, I'm going to start complaining about how times were when I wasn't alive. Makes no fucking sense. So that mentality is going to make you deranged. You know what I'm saying? And again, dudes who have had substantial, consistent, meaningful relationships with women do not think like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, you see your crush from high school, college, and now she's with Octavius, right? You see your crush from college, and now she married Brad, right? Am I just going to go in a corner and chug 6 beers? No. You got to let the good times roll, bruh. And again, I'm saying this as if, like, I'm saying this to help you. Sitting around with all these labels and the erasure agenda, and now women are just promiscuous and they just overlook the regular guy. Stop being fucking regular then. Because see, it's the magical thing about hearing yourself speak. You can't hear how you sound all the time, right? Same with, you musicians out there. You'll have a dope idea, and oftentimes you transpose it to sound, i.e. record it, and you listen to it. It's usually what you thought it would sound like, but you understand what I'm trying to say. There's always some element of nuance that your ears will pick up after you've recorded it, right? It's the same phenomenon with speaking. But a lot of you guys don't realize your body language, your facial structure, this permanent frown you have on your face as if life is so fucking bad. And then you guys always talking about this whole, you can tell these people. I feel compelled to just talk like this because you got people out here living their life, being happy with whoever they want to be happy with, whether that's at the fucking racquetball court or the gym or the trail or the bedroom or whatever. And they're living life and they're being happy and they're creating subsequent abundance to support that reality. Meanwhile, you got guys sitting in their apartment alone with their hand on their chin, drinking warm beer, talking about, man, there used to be a time when people showed loyalty to their people. There used to be a time like this. It's like you sound like some outdated ass union that, never got a phone call or some shit. Again, man. I said this the other day, but I didn't post it. Had some technical difficulty. Ladies, don't take this wrong. Most women adapt to the standards and alignment of the men in their society. Some people use the term follow. Some people use the term mirror, reflect. What she is, the man is the source point for how that variable is going to react. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to take it to the scientific realm, if she's the water, right, and you bring that solid foundation, whatever substance or whatever makeup of your foundation, that water is going to adapt to it. You feel what I'm saying? But see, guys who just bash women and see you, what you do is you do it kind of like passive aggressive. You clearly have enmity for interracial relationships. You clearly have shade for what you see in the wide world, but you don't say it straight up. You say code words like hip hoppers, they giveaway, or you might say just all this halfway shit. And I can't tell if you're trying to be smooth and suave or you're trying to not get sensitive. I don't understand it. But my question to you, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You're not going to stop women from seeking enhanced sexual thrills. And this is for everybody. You're not going to stop dudes who make their job look easy, even though they probably do work hard. You just don't see that because you don't respect yourself. You're not going to stop people from using each other. It's just the world we live in. It sucks, but it's here. You're not going to stop promiscuity. Like I said, guys, I hate hearing this whole women are now they're just so promiscuous. That's a clear indicator. It's like your degree of understanding that nature is just so low, and it's reflected when you get this pouty attitude of, but it's so promiscuous now. Come on, man. And if that bothers you so much, then you might have some other stuff going on. It's really goddamn. Like, shout out to people who build people up, who tell people truths they don't want to hear, who equip people with, the best of what they have to offer. Because sitting around and you can just, and I mean, this is part of the world we're in. You can't be too, like, sensitive or trigger happy to just always respond to people. But at the same time, man, that type of defeatist ass language, it's just another breed of ignorance. So as much as you like to talk about the hip hoppers and, let's just say, the black dudes who in your subconscious are the enemy because they appear to be easily garnering the attention of women that are supposed to like you, you could just say that instead of trying to code shit and look all fucking, trying to look all cool and stoic, but you look stupid. And that's for anybody who is on this kick about tarnishing interracial. Who gives a fuck, man? This is 2026 America. It's happening, all right? Somewhere right now, somebody, 2 different fucking continents is getting in over. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. It's not that serious. What happened to the old... It's funny, man. It's funny. And what's funny is about me, I'm not even one of these guys that's, I don't date nothing but white girls. I'm not that type of nigga. That's not my program. But I just find it so amusing that dudes who are like that tend to just do what they do. They have their own reasons. That's not my business. It's just funny because it bothers certain individuals so much. You know what the funny part is? Even if those chicks, even if you were the same complexion or background as that dude, she still wouldn't want you. Because your mentality. It's no different than a jealous ass woman. You feel like the more you talk about what you don't like, it changes it. That's not how men think. Right? The more people hear me, the more people feel bad for me. Nah, man. You're going to be that same dude smoking Newport 100s in a 1-bedroom talking about, yeah, I had a good job. Yeah, shit. You're going to be that guy. Because when you could have been out here changing your reality, even they say it in the innocent stuff. Be the change you want to see in the world. I mean, it's that simple. You complaining to other guys about the women that aren't giving you attention? What the fuck are you doing, man? Man. I don't even think it's the scariest part of jealousy is where you don't know you're jealous, right? And that usually comes from some unaddressed stuff going on inside. So, again, those of you building people up, you know who you are. Those of you reaching across cultural lines to build people up, you know your presence and you know your worth, right? But those of you, I really don't care what you look like. I'm just talking about certain dynamics here. If you're behind the camera talking shit, tearing people down, even, implying it, trying to be kind of James Bond with your disses and shit, just say what you mean, man. Because the truth of the matter is, nobody's hurting but you. And at the end of the day, she still don't want